ladies and gents, we are joining a very talented driver friend of mine, Oliver James Webb. You guys maybe know him from Instagram, I'm sure you probably do. Now he is a hugely talented driver. He's won Le Mans in his category before. He's raced in pretty much every race category I can think of, driven an F1 car, done some awesome stuff. Sent me a text yesterday saying, do you want to join me at this place called Auto Vivendi, where I've never been before, and we can hang out there. So I thought I'd bring you along. No idea what to expect. Hopefully it will be a good day. You know what? I've actually noticed a change in the fuel consumption of this car since I've put the exhaust on. I don't know if it's because I drive it more aggressively now that it sounds better, or if it's actually just a much worse consumption, because I'm not doing too well at the moment. Let me see, I can probably get it up here. Yeah, today I've done 12 miles to the gallon. 12. Not ideal. Used to be doing quite a bit more than that. You know what? I'm probably to blame. I'm probably just driving it a bit too aggressively, but I think the exhaust hasn't helped either. Right, so we've made it to Auto Vivendi, which I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right now, which you're about to see. Nuts. Ollie was here a second ago. He had to go catch a train, so I just drove him to the train station and then came back here to film the rest of this. But he does say hi to everyone, and he was here when we filmed a little bit of a French video, so here's a little clip of that. C'est bonjour Ollie, comment ça va? Ollie, hello, ça va? Oh oui, il parle français, super. But yeah, anyways, make sure you follow Ollie on Instagram. He invited me over here and it's so cool. I've never been here before, but this is like a hidden warehouse in the center of London. So sick. So look, if I turn the camera, this, if the camera decides to focus, is what I am looking at. What an outstanding lineup right here. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna run through all the cars. There was an 812 here a second ago, classic red 812, but that's just gone out to a client. So Auto Vivendi is effectively like a club, a membership club, where so you pay your entrance fee and you get a certain amount of points, and with those points you can use each one of these cars when you please, and they're in central London, but they will deliver them to you if you need. So let's run through the cars that, you know, if you have your membership here, you get access to. And this is only some of them. There's another huge warehouse with others, which I don't know what's in there yet, but I'm sure there's some tasty stuff. GT3 RS 991 Gen 2. You can tell by those vents there. I quite like this spec actually. I've never been a massive fan of green, but this sort of what do you call it, Kermit green is really nice, and I like the contrasting bonnet hood. It's very cool. So you can tell from those air vents, and then also from these little details around the wheels, that this is a Gen 2. So you've also got around back, look at this, you got these lights which are split, and that's how you can tell it's a Gen 2 as well. And no, this color is awesome. The spec is very cool. I like the Porsche finishing in gloss black on the wing. Now next to this, you've got something pretty cool. This is a 488 GTB, but what makes this special is it's got matte paint, so matte gray paint from factory. It's got the sort of dark black wheels as well, and carbon finishes on those little logos on the wheels, but that is a very expensive paint job from factory. So really nice spec on this. It's hard to tell with Ferrari because the carbon weave is so small, but that is carbon there. There's a lot of carbon options around the car. Inside, full carbon, bucket seats, really tasty spec on this 488 coupe. Then we got a Vantage, a new Vantage. This one doesn't have that much carbon. It's got gloss black round front. Now you can have that in carbon, but it's very rare on these. But a beautiful, very sparkly gloss grey color. There you go. Now that it's focused, you can see it a bit better. So really nice color on that. They actually, it's quite cool to see both of these next to each other, because you've got the most glossy gloss grey you could possibly have, and then you've got a matte one right next to it. Now this is one of my favorites in here. DBS Superleggera. These things look great, and the cool thing is when you let's say you're a member here, one thing that would attract me to it is you don't need to worry about depreciation. So a car like this, you know, is incredible, but I would struggle to buy one just purely because of depreciation. But then when you're here, you don't need to worry about that, and you can make the most of cool little details like this, like the forged carbon Aston Martin logo, Superleggera. This is obviously DBS Superleggera. Yeah, really nice carbon, very dark weave, so it probably looks gloss black on camera, but that's a carbon front splitter. You got the blacked out wheels and a beautiful dark blue color. Carbon on the mirrors. Really nice spec. They really nailed the way this car looks, and they sound pretty cool too. V12 twin turbo, but sounds really nice. Over 700 horsepower. Awesome looking thing. We've then got Wraith, so classic. This is a car that whenever you've got an event or some fancy black tie thing going on, that's the classic car that you'd take. Very classy spec on this, with the silver and the black with a cream interior. So sort of classic spec. Very nice, but apparently it's one of the cars that gets used the most, which is fairly unsurprising. And then next to that, we've got this 720S Coupe. Now, pretty special spec on this. This, I believe, is Lantana Purple, which makes this probably about a 20 grand paint job on this car. Looks really cool, and it's got yellow finishes, like on the calipers, or or in the interior. See, on the seats, the air vents, little yellow finishes, mix of Alcantara and leather, on the interior, and then it's also got a mix of both carbon, as you can see here, but then also this grey finish instead of like piano black. So it's kind of got half the carbon pack, similarly to another 720 which is there. But before that, we get onto this baby blue Performante, Huracan Performante Spider. Really cool. I think it suits the car so well, this color. I really like this spec, actually. It's kind of like milky blue with a bit of green in it. It looks much more blue on camera than it does in real life right now. I really like these rims, these Performante rims. Really nice design. Now, it doesn't have that much carbon, this one, but it is a really nice color. It does have round back the forged carbon kit on all the Ala systems. So on the wing down here, gloss forged carbon, but then you've also got that round front on the splitter right there in the center part of the splitter. And the rest is just matte black. So that's a really nice looking car, actually. I really like these, and they've actually done the plate placement really well. You see people putting them up on the side here. I think they've done that really well. It looks really nice. Now, next to that, we then got a slightly more blue, but still baby blue 720S. This is another coupe, and as I mentioned, you've also got sort of half the carbon kit. So you've got this silver, well, grey finish here, but then on certain areas you've got carbon there, carbon on the mirrors, and carbon round back here. So really nice sort of spec. They haven't gone too nuts on the carbon, but looks really nice. The wing up on this, the aero button's been pressed, that massive wing that comes up under hard braking and serves as an air brake. These things do look very good, and it's kind of cool being able to see the two different specs next to each other. One slightly darker, one a bit more showy, so you can take whichever one you're kind of in the mood for here. Both coupes, but I'm sure they do have a Spider in the fleet as well. Now, we will come back to this. We'll do these two at the end of the video. That's got a paint job which is worth over 100 grand on it. We'll talk about that in a second. First of all, this Aventador S Roadster. Really nice. Now, this one, even more so than the Performante, looks completely different in real life than what it does on camera. So it looks very blue, I'm sure you'll agree, on camera, but in front of me right now, it's a very green tint turquoise. Beautiful color. It looks really cool. And this on the road, I'm sure would look awesome. But it's so funny. I don't know what it is that makes it look so different on camera. Really nice, obviously, 700 horsepower with these over 700 horsepower, and yeah, single clutch V12 naturally aspirated beast. And it's got the two roof panels here because it is a Roadster, so those two come off individually, and then you can slide them around front in the boot of the car, which is actually popped open, and they're awesome. They sound great. So that's a really cool weekend car, because, you know, again, it's one that you probably wouldn't want to live with, but if you can just take it out for the weekend, that's perfect. Really nice Dione wheels, they call those, finished in silver. Very nice. Then we got another McLaren, this time a Spider though, and a 600 LT, so the hardcore version of the Sports Series McLaren. They've just released an even more hardcore version of this, but these are very nice. And similarly to the DBS, the good thing about this is you wouldn't have to worry about the depreciation on like the 720 or the 600 LT, which have a reputation for tanking like a rock, basically. But you got fully black exterior, red accents like on the calipers, seat belts inside, and it is a Spider. The thing I find coolest about these are these top exit exhausts. Really nice, very 918 kind of like, and this is obviously a heat shield right there on the rear wing. Really nice. Spider's pretty new, these 600 LT. They're awesome to drive, fantastic driver's car, and they do sound really good. This is very special. So this is a Vanquish Zagato, and it's like a shooting brake version of that very rare car, about 800,000 pounds, I believe. Awesome looking thing in this beautiful red, absolutely stunning. Zagato do some amazing work, and I've done some historic work with a lot of different car makers. You can tell it's the Zagato and that little Z there. Carbon fiber all over the place. I mean, the whole roof, I don't know if you can see that, that is all carbon fiber. Absolutely stunning. And these rear lights, you can just about see it, the cover's still a bit on, are awesome looking. So yeah, I mean, that's most of the lineup. And then we get to these special beasts. So we've got a Senna. So this is the normal, if you can call it that, Senna, but in this context it does make sense. So about 500 of these made worldwide, which is why they decided to go a bit nuts with the spec here and go for this really cool paint job. So you got three colors actually. So you got this silver, gloss sparkly silver, then you got one shade of light baby blue, and then a shade of turquoise. I don't know if you can see the difference there. So those three paint jobs all put together, that cost about 104,000 pounds just for the paint alone on this car. Obviously you got a lot of exposed matte carbon fiber as well. That is all carbon fiber there, all carbon fiber down here, and then as you go around the car, it's just sort of splattered all over the place right there on the mirrors, the side skirts, on the huge dining table wing with so much active aero. It is just so cool. The blue accents on the wing as well, and then the triple exhaust. A lot of people ask why some will have two exhausts, why some will have three. That's actually because in the States States, the regulations are different. So most of the cars in the States will have double exhaust, and then because you need, different regulations here, different emissions, means you have the 3 exhausts in Europe and the UK. So that's pretty much it. I like the little accents on the rear diffuser as well. It looks really, really nice. No, they've done an awesome job with the spec of this car. Now, if this isn't hardcore enough, I mean, it's got 800 kilograms of downforce, peak downforce. It's got so much power. Obviously, very, very light, this car. I think it's around 1,200 kilos. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but full carbon fiber beast. You've also then got, right next to it, if you want something a bit more hardcore and you're a track guy, you then have this Senna GTR. Now, this is an animal. Very, very rare. And this is a track-only car. Now, there may be people who will be able to convert that to be road legal, but you also can have the option when you buy it to buy a set of slick tires, as demonstrated here. Really, really cool looking. So hardcore. So you can tell, compared to the Senna, having both of them next to each other. Look, for example, the front of it, the splitter is just enormous. I mean, you are not going over any speed bumps with that. The side carbon canards are huge as well. Everything's just big and looks so cool on this car. You got your little tow hook there. The color is really, really nice. Fairly simple spec on this. Blue, but a really nice shade of blue. So obviously everything is just more extreme. You can see the air that comes through here, and then those little winglets finished in blue there to point it back up through the different aerodynamic details of the car. Right here, very almost Ford GT like front hood. Obviously no boot space in this, or that really, to be fair. And then yeah, it is a very cool car. Now look, to open it, you actually pull here because they got rid of all of the electrics in this. And the door, even though it is absolutely massive, is so light. It's unbelievable. Obviously full carbon, as you can see on the interior of it. It's absolutely full carbon in matte carbon fiber. But what's cool is they've kept the glass here, which must be pretty insane when you're going along on track. You can see it on the other side right there. So glass in the bottom half of the door. Really, really nice. Now, we'll come back to the interior in a second. But round back, I just want to show you. If you thought the wing on the road legal version was big, look at the wing on this. It is enormous. Continues around side here, so obviously that pushes the air through there, sticking the car to the ground a bit more. But it is just huge, and little details like that opening there, absolute work of art. And this one's only got those 2 exhausts because obviously it doesn't care about emissions too much. If I squeeze around back, you'll be able to see that better. But yeah, look at that. Double exhausts, awesome looking thing. I mean, that view right there with the other one next to it is just insane. So obviously you've got a bunch more details. It's obviously still got the plastic on it. As you can tell, that comes off. That's not, finished like that normally. It's all carbon under there. When you sit in this driver's seat, that is what you'll see in a P1, a Senna GTR, sir. That is your view. You've obviously got a Formula 1 like steering wheel where you can adjust all things like, and this is obviously automatic manual. This button here, I think this is your traction control setting. I'm learning as we go. I mean, what do we have? Torque, that's your radio. You got DRS, units, aux. I don't think that's what we think it is. You got the launch control button. Yeah, I mean, so many details. And then, of course, flappy paddles to a double clutch gearbox, I believe. Now, completely redone dashboard, full race spec dashboard. And then over here, it's just so intense, so serious. I mean, your hazard lights are there, engine oil. I mean, it is just insane. You got obviously a fire extinguisher there, and then these pretty cool looking seats. So full carbon fiber, obviously, and they just look pretty intense, don't they? You're not going anywhere in a hurry in and out of this car. No carpets, obviously no luxuries in this. It is fully stripped out for the racetrack and just looks so sick. I mean, imagine driving around track with that. I like the little air scoop as well on the roof. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty much it. This is the millionaire's toy that you can have access to through Auto Vivendi. And this is not by any means a paid ad, by the way. I just think it's really cool, the service they're offering. So I thought I would chat about it. I just came here to see Ollie and then showed up and I was like, oh, damn, okay, there's a lot of very, very cool cars here. So comment down below which one is your favorite, because there is plenty to choose from. And let me know, I'm really interested. Obviously, in the most extreme is that Senna back there. But there's a really, really cool selection of cars in interesting specs. So that's why I wanted to show you guys. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna hop back into the R8 now and head home. But I just thought I'd give you a really simple, really raw tour of all these cars, my thoughts, and let me know if you enjoyed it and we can do more of these videos. That view behind me, absolutely nuts. Take care, guys. See you again very, very soon. Hope you're all doing well. Give this video a little thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It does help the channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.